Hello, fourth grade. Welcome to a bonus edition of Mrs. Van Emmen. Talking to you today about citing sources for a research project. I know you are currently researching Native Americans in your classroom, so I wanted to talk to you about a very important piece of that research, which would be citing your sources, making sure that each time you use information that you find either on the internet or in a book or a magazine, that you are always making sure to give credit to whom actually wrote that information. So today I want to show you how to cite sources from one, a book, and two, an internet source. So let's take a look at the worksheet that I have projected for you. And this worksheet will explain step by step how to cite a book if you are using an actual in your hand book that you would like to cite for your research. So here's the first thing that you're going to need to find when you're looking at your book. You want to find the author. And for your citation, we always put the last name first and then first name. So last name, comma, first name of the author. Then we put the title of the book and underline it with a period. Next, you're going to want to find the city where the book was published. You're going to find that on the inside cover of the book, on the verso page, which has very small print. If you're looking at that page, very small print, you will find one, the published date, the publisher, and the city. And that's all the things you're going to need right now. So look to see where the city was. Then we're going to use a colon. Find the publisher, the company that actually published the book. Then you're going to need a comma and the date that it was published. We talk about that in library. We call that the birth date of the book. So find that. Those are the items you will need in order to cite this book correctly. Now let's look at an example that I have written here for us. This is a Diary of a Wimpy Kid book. We would always put the author's last name, comma, first name. So Kinney, comma, Jeff, period. Diary of a Wimpy Kid, period, and underlined. New York, the city where it was published, colon. Amulet Books, that is the publisher, comma, 2007. That's the copyright date of Diary of a Wimpy Kid. So those are the items you will need if you are using an actual in-hand book. Now I'm assuming since we're home, most of us are probably using internet sources for our research. To cite an internet source, something you are finding online, that looks different than a book. So I'm going to show you that worksheet now so we can take a look at it. So all right, so here we have what a citation for an internet source would look like. So let's look at this worksheet so we know we have the correct information. The first thing we're going to need to find is the author of the internet article that you have read. Sometimes that is hard to find. Sometimes you have to look at the very bottom of the article, maybe in small print you may find it. Sometimes you may not find it at all. A lot of times you may not find it. But if you do, that's the first thing you're going to need. So again, last name, comma, first name for a website article. Then in quotation marks, you're going to need to put the article title, whatever the title of the article is. Put that in quotation marks with a period. Next, the title of the website you're using. We're going to underline the title of the website we're using and put a period. The next thing you're going to need is the date you accessed this website, meaning the date that you went on and found the information. The thing about websites is they change daily, hourly, sometimes every minute. So we want to make sure that we know the date that you got the information from the website in case it would change. You're going to put a period after that, and then the website's URL, the actual address of the website, www. whatever it might be. if you're using Ducksters or World Book, those are the types of website URLs that you would put here. So I've given an example, so let's go down here and look at the example that I've shown you. The title or the author of the website that I looked at was James Dawe. I always put the last name first, Dawe, D-A-W-E, comma, James, period. The article that I read was called Jane Austen Page. I put that in quotation marks with a period. The website's name, the title of the website was called Jane Austen Website, period. And I accessed it on March 14th, 2014. So look how I noted that. 14 March, comma, 2004, period. And then the last thing, I want to make sure I have that URL correctly. www.boston.com/bigpicture. That's the entire URL that I used. Now, what I'm hoping is that a lot of us might be using some of the sources that we have learned about at school, maybe like World Book Online Kids, which is a great source for your research. And it also has all of the citations at the bottom of each of the articles that you read on World Book Online Kids. So let's look at that, and so you can see it, so that if you haven't been using it, maybe you might want to. So I'm going to pull up the World Book Online Kids. So here it is. I know that we go to the one with the balloon on it. Now, by the way, this does have a password since you're at home. If you need the password or the username and password, username is GoCats, no spaces, GOCATS, and the password is OJRSD. Okay, so I'm going to click on Kids, and then I want to search Native Americans. Here I'm going to find lots of information on Native Americans, tribes, different people that were involved, different famous Native Americans, different battles that might have been found, their homes that they might have lived in, the areas that they lived in, all sorts of information here. So let's just say that I wanted to research a little bit about the wigwam, and that was the home that some of the Native American tribes lived in. So I'm going to click on wigwam. Here's some information about it. I can have it read to me, or I can read it myself. But what I want to show you is at the bottom of this article that you're seeing right now, how to cite this article. It already gives it to us in perfect APA, which is the way we cite information, perfectly done for us right here. So it didn't have an author, but the title was Wigwam, and our website address, our website is World Book Kids. We have the website address here. So all I would need to do is copy this and paste it right over into my document. Easy peasy if you're using World Book Online Kids. All right. Now, not every website's going to do that. Really, only World Book Online probably has that citation right now for us that we can use, but that's kind of a nice one. So I hope this was helpful to you. Please make sure to use those worksheets that I gave Mrs. Johnson so that you know you're citing your sources correctly. And of course, if you have any questions, you can always email me and I can look over it for you. Good luck with your research, guys. And if you have any questions, let me know. All right. Bye, everyone.